I can't believe they
Dude, they we kind of called it, but they were like, "Oh, by the way, we're making this show." So dot. Dude, they went full into the Spider-Verse. Let me tell you one last time. Boom, where I'm from, and just oh, people gonna be pissed.
Yeah, it's kind of like, man, it's like PTSD.
The Knicks, the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Last of Us season 2 ends on a cliffhanger. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
People are gonna be saying.
Oh wait, that was the last episode.
That was the season finale.
That was the finale.
But
I said that up front. You weren't listening to me.
No. I thought you were mistaken. I thought I misheard because there's no reason to switch back to her for day one.
You definitely did not mishear.
And what did
I don't appreciate that.
And I said up front that everybody's gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
because there's no game wasn't made to stop at that point. It's made to continue and make you. I'm not gonna say suffer through it, but it's made for you to have to go through the narrative.
Call it what it is.
Because Jorge's here, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But the game is meant for you to keep persevering. People are literally gonna probably play the game. People are gonna start buying the game in droves just to see what the hell
they
is going
want.
on.
Though that's what they want.
Was it on like a special on PlayStation or something like that?
Yeah, the remastered is.
Yeah. So.
They're going to do two things. They're either going to purchase the game and play it, or they're going to sit on somebody's long YouTube video and watch it. Either way.
And what did Luke Skywalker say? This is not going to go the way you think. I've been calling it. Like we've been like it's going to end, and it's going to be like
this is day one. Yeah.
I think that's a jarring cliffhanger. I don't think it's a good cliffhanger.
That's part 2, dude. That's part 2. Jarring.
I mean, I think there's other ways you could have ended it.
I don't know, man. 7 episodes. There was no other places they were going to get to. That's why I was saying like 3 episodes back. I was like, I almost know where this is going to end because I was thinking they're going to be a little bit further along, and they aren't. And so them ending it like this, I was kind of like, and I looked at it, I was like 50 minutes. I was like, they are not going to do what I think they're going to do. And they sure as hell did.
Yep.
But I already know, bro, I already know the cold opening to season 3, episode 1. I already know the cold opening. I already know it. Like, it's like
yeah.
Let's go back.
I think the thing is, if this is what they wanted to do, they have something in mind of how they want to code open or how they want to open the new season. Because they could have let it go a little bit longer, just a little bit longer, and it still would have had the same exact impact. But I don't know, man. People are gonna be pissed.
They would have cut it. They would have cut it even if they had cut it. Because the thing was, I thought they were going to cut it right before they showed what they showed at the end. I thought when they said, did we just lose Sam? I thought when she said, and you wasted it, I was like, and I was
in the game.
I was looking for the credits right there. And when it didn't happen and they went to the next scene, I said, oh, the entire internet is going to basically be set ablaze. It's like Joel all over again.
But I think the reason why they chose to showcase Seattle themselves is like, we're going to tell you that's what we're going to do. We don't want to let you find out on the internet or on Twitter or whatnot, because if they would have left it black and go to credits, people would have looked it up and they would have been pissed. It's like, no, we're responsibly knowing people are either gonna not like where we're gonna go, but this is where we're gonna go. So hang tight.
Yeah. I just think it was a wasted scene at the end of a season. I don't know. Yeah. Like it's that's that you could have started that. You could have started the next season with that, and then you're like, oh, what does this take place? Oh, this is day one.
But think about how that whole scene pans out.
Wow.
Remember how that pans out, because how that pans out is far worse than how this ended. if they if the way that me and Ronan are on sync in this episode, they're gonna open that shiggity and it's gonna mess some folks up. But
yes.
So I get them. If there was a place to cut it, that would be the place. But it's just like the game, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, it is just
the transition is exactly like the game.
Except I can keep going in the game, or I can come back the next day and watch it.
Right. That's why I said in the beginning of the episode. I was like,
"Thank you, thank you, thank you."
They want what they're really trying to do is lean people in to get the game and make it to that point so they can see what they see, so you can see the next stuff.
But how much you want to bet already? The opening credit scene is not going to show. It's not going to say Bella Ramsey. It's going to say Kaylin next season.
Bro, listen.
It sure enough is, and I honestly think what's going to be interesting is people's perspective on, like, wait, you telling me that we're going to start this season with this character Abby that y'all building up that killed Joel, now killed Jesse, and presumably killed Ellie, or at least wounded Ellie, and we're gonna have to watch her. It's literally what we had to go through.
Welcome to the club. What did Jonathan say? Welcome to the party, pal.
The only difference, though, is that we didn't get that buffer that everyone else got at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
We didn't get that buffer. We didn't get that. We knew she was going after Joel and why. Like, we didn't get that. We got that. We got that later on. And when we got that, we had to endure, like, what was it, like 18 hours or whatever, or 8 hours with this broad? Like, what the entire F? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, but I think let's be careful on the spoilers.
My bad. I think that was a game spoiler. That was a game spoiler. My bad.
I think what's going to be interesting, though, is I'm trying to think of another television show that's done it this way, where you get to spend so much time with characters that you know have already gone in an earlier season, right? So they kind of tease with that with Joe. Yeah. So I feel like this is that could be very interesting television. I don't think this is going to be a satisfying cliffhanger. Cliffhanger should make you want more, but also make you feel like this is a spot. This is the spot to lead you anymore. This kind of goes, if you know nothing about the game, you're just like, okay. Okay.
It's literally Joel Part 2. You're going to be mad again.
Yeah. So
like I had people like, I cannot believe you held on to this for like 5 years. I said, my bad. Now they're going to be coming back and be like, yo, what is going on here?
The other part is, I don't think this is gonna make a lot of fans for Ellie. I think this season,
right?
I think a lot of her decisions are gonna make her a very unlikable character.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And then even props to the guy that played Jesse too.
I wish I could talk about the game.
Yes, young Messino.
I just want to say something really quick. I just think that the main thing that comes to mind so far is that they are really, really asking a lot out of the audience. And I get like the game is a similar thing, but more to Anthony's point, like at least in the game, I could just keep going and reach the end on my own time. Whereas here, like my time is like dictated by like this, I got to wait on these TV episodes, assuming, there's not another pandemic or something, or another writer's strike or some whatever. I just think they're asking a lot out of the audience. And I would not be as hyper confident in the audience with where they executed, particularly like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, my personal perspective is there is no perfect spot to stop. It
was inevitable.
The game itself is too long for one season. You would have had to have said,
yes,
we're going to do 14 episodes straight up. That's and that was never going to be. even if they did 10, it would have still not been enough episodes to get through. They would have rushed it, to be honest with you.
It probably would have pissed people off more. They're like, wow, we spent 10 episodes for this?
They would have pulled the season 8 of Game of Thrones with that.
And so I think the problem that I worried about at the beginning of this, before we even got to the season, is there's not enough time on the clock to do this sufficiently. Now, my hope was that they were going to execute it well, and I think that they executed it well. Yeah. But in terms of stopping it, I already built myself up to like, this is not going to be a perfect spot. I was sitting there like, yo, I know where we're at, and I was like, oh snap, that bullet's about to come, and I was like, oh freak, bro, like this is gonna piss people off. People are gonna be so pissed because I think some people actually started rallying behind Jesse. For real. I heard somebody like, yo, I love Jesse. Like Jesse is
he's a very likable character, like, a very likable.
And somebody said he's everything that Joel wishes he could be. Somebody said that, and I was like, dang.
Yeah.
So I want to say that because they set Jesse up to be not the main character, but the main action guy, like of that generation of Jackson, right? So even when you see what's Joel's brother's name? Tommy. Right?
Tommy.
When they're working on that thing and he's like, and I feel it in your 40s, and you look at a 20-year-old do some stuff and you like, yeah, all right, you got that, young buck. like you're setting him up. He's heroic. He's teaching Ellie. He's also emotionally mature and healthy for the situation that he's in. So to see him go like that after we just seen some bull from Ellie over the last couple episodes where she probably shouldn't survive where she did, and she's been really selfish that have led to these consequences, and she has not learned. I think it's going to be a very hard transition for characters, and he just goes like that. There's no ceremony to that. There's no like, vengeance. Like there's just she's just gone.
He's the role that they want Abby for the wolf. When I heard Isaac describing Abby as the future of Wolf, it's like that's Jesse for Jackson in a completely different texture and whatnot.
And I also think there's going to be some issues with time. I think the way that characters have moved, so they went there Ellie got the two friends, then they came back to the hideout. Presumably Abby wasn't coming back to the hideout, but she did, which was 30 minutes away, then 30 minutes to find them, then to set up, and she ambushed them all. Like you gotta, I think that they got kind of like Game of Thrones kind of travel time in this somehow. At least that's what it felt like. I think also another
bless you.
Thank you.
Has been like you're stalking people and you're walking out in the open. You're making a lot of noise. You're camping out in a war zone with lights on in the middle of the night. Like there's a lot of things that kind of take you out of. You guys are treating this like the dangerous. Like if we're all hiding out in a war zone and we just trying to get out. Are we going to be in a big open building separated with lights on in the middle of? Are we going to do that? No.
I mean, to be honest with you. And let's keep this a buck. There ain't nowhere to hide in Seattle.
Yeah.
You could run into a horde of stalkers. You could run into the Gastron Woods and get skinned alive, disemboweled, and you could just happen to go into a wrong building and there's some wolves. So
are you going to go to that theater and act like they acted?
I wouldn't have been out there knowing. Why would I go out there? What do you mean? That's stupid. So
well, let me ask the question. Let me ask the question for real. If it was your significant other,
hey, look, you already know. I'll go.
I'm going.
I'm going. I'm just going. So here's
who are we in the situation?
Right. Who are we specifically?
If we are Tommy. Well, Sam said he wasn't going, but I asked Sam if it was his significant other, and that happened. Is he going? Like, he's going. I'm going. If it was mine. My thing is keeping it a buck. I'm actually surprised they got in what they got in those 7 episodes. I was not expecting that much. I thought they were going to do some serious deep cuts, but the fact that they were able to get even the flashback with Joel and Ellie in there, I was like, yo, this is crazy. But at the end of the day, there's really no place in that game where you can do a cut and people be satisfied or people anticipate the next thing, because they're literally giving you the game. This is literally where it is. And the only difference is when you're at the game, when you realize this is what I got to do now, you're just as mad as watching it now. So what I was hoping was, as I started watching the episodes, I'm thinking they're going to do a bit of a shift and correct all the things that gamers had an issue with this game. And we got a little bit of that correction at the very beginning of the season, when we got a bit of a buffer as to why, Abby is doing what she's doing. But for the rest of it, you get little tidbits, but they're not really changing that much of the game. They gave you a bit of a cushion, but it wasn't enough. You still going to get that. You still going to jump off the edge, and you going to hit that joint hard. They gave you a little extra cushioning, but you still landing on a bad mattress with springs poking out.
But Ty, like, neither experience is meant to like feel good. Fair enough, but I mean, it didn't take. I mean, let's pretend that the show ends after like season 4. Mm-hmm. That means it's about to take another like 2-3.5 years to sort of get to the end credits with like the most depressing game I will probably ever lay eyes on. I just don't know.
You're not wrong. And I can tell you right now, even at the end of this whole entire series, you're going to be as mad and as unsatisfied, because even at the end of the game, I looked at Sam, because Sam was streaming it. I looked at Sam, and the first thing I said was, come the F on. For real? This is where all of that, and this is where we at. You're going to be just, you might as well just prep for it. You're going to be just as mad and upset and unsatisfied with this game. It literally took people maybe a year or two to truly.
I mean, I'm with you, but like, if you were playing the game up until this point, and like someone like forcibly told you you're gonna have to stop for 6 to 10 months or whatever, and then you can resume the game.
So I'll answer that. If somebody told me, hey, look, keeping the buck with you, man, you're gonna have to wait. Part of me, and again, this is hard because this is non-spoiler. This is not Balls and Bricks. Balls and Bricks, y'all want the uncut, we'll give you the uncut. But with this, when I played the game, if I stopped right here, somebody said, you gotta wait a month, you can't play anymore, I'd be like, you know what, good, bro. I need a break from this, because otherwise I'm gonna break the game.
Yep.
Straight up. Like, at that time, we knew nothing.
Yep.
We knew absolutely nothing.
And we got lucky that we weren't spoiled by the leaks. If we got lucky that we weren't spoiled by the leaks.
Right.
We were still pissed about Joel.
Right. And
we were still
just taking it from right there. And the game ended. And it's like, crap, I gotta wait a month for this? Like, you know what, bro? I'm hot. I'm pissed. And honestly, this chick really just did that. And I can't do nothing about it. And you want me to see her more? Nah. You know what? I'm good. Maybe it might be good for me to get a month. You know what? Actually, I might need 3 months, because what y'all doing from a narrative perspective, it's not edifying me. It's bringing me to a very dark place, and I'm actually hate playing this now. There's a difference in hating a game and hate playing. And there were some people back then that were hate playing to get through it. And it may actually, I don't know, but it may actually be good for people to have a break, to pause.
That's what I've been saying about the story, dude. The way they've been playing it out, dude, it's digesting better.
Because no one liked, I'm telling you, when this game was going,
bro,
hated Neil Druckmann's guts.
We did, but bro, like literally, they got people.
Look at this,
bro. They got people walking away knowing that like Ellie just like clipped this pregnant chick and like just almost got hung by a noose and shit. Like
it's a lot.
And she got Jesse killed. She got the baby daddy killed, bro. The innocent, lovable baby daddy.
Yeah. So I don't think people are gonna blame her for the pregnant woman enemy.
For Mel.
No, you know what? I'm gonna say this. And y'all can take it whatever way you want to. Do you guys think she hesitated to take the baby out because she didn't think she could do it? Or she hesitated to do it because of what they did to Joel? That's a dark question to ask. Just hold with me for a second. Initially, she asked, like, what do you want me to do? And then it was like, she never even attempted to do it. Because it might be psychologically, it's like, I've done enough damage, this isn't going to work. But she also looked at her and she's like, you're doing a good job, you're doing a good job. She just gently pulled it down and just like, yeah, okay, peacefully, you can go. Do you think she hesitated? I'm saying this because we know who Ellie's going to be. And as much as they're painting her bad now, never mind. I'm gonna stop.
I think she didn't. I think she didn't do it just because she was like, "Oh fuck, I don't know what I'm doing." And if I make the wrong incision, I'm directly killing the baby.
Think about what she did to Joel. Think about what she had to do to Joel.
I know, but like,
I don't think that was in her mind. I think she just it was overwhelming that she couldn't do the surgery.
I think she just was emotionally compromised and basically because she specifically asks, "How deep do I cut?"
Yes.
She knows nothing about C-section or birthing. The way she felt was she just killed Owen, done clipped this chick. She had no intention of clipping. Didn't even realize it hit her, and now she's like, well, if I mess this up, I'm going to now be responsible for killing an innocent child.
And what a 180! What a 180 from Jesse taking away the arrow of punching it out instead of pulling it out, and then you flip it to Ellie, who's like, "Fuck, I don't know what to do in this scenario like that. Just fuck."
I mean, at the end of the day, yes, Sam, she that's inevitably what she did, but she doesn't want to hold the burden of actually physically cutting that child. Because
also, what are you gonna do with that child?
Then it's
what are you gonna do with that child?
No, what I'm saying is the lady literally begged her to get that child out.
What you gonna do with the child, Sam? What you gonna do with the child?
That lady basically died thinking that child was coming because she was literally talking her through it, not realizing she had not been. She literally went into shock, and her only focus was that child. So
she was gonna do the old man Logan thing, take care of the little Hulkling.
Which what Joel said. Joel said maybe you'll understand someday because Ellie still doesn't understand when Ellie was like, "I'm gonna be a daddy." No, you ain't no daddy. You ain't no daddy at all because you took that woman back to Jackson. You would have when Jesse showed up next way to you would said, "I get it, let's go." You're not a daddy. You're not a daddy because they've shown Joel's only focus. Ellie, I don't care about the rest of the world. I would make the same decision again because I'm your pappy. Whatever you want to say, that's a pappy.
Here's the thing, though. I agree with you, but only to a certain extent, because while Joel is hiding under the aspect of being a pappy, the truth is he's not her father. All Ellie is for Joel is a void that has been filled from the loss of his daughter. He basically treats her like Sarah, and what he needs to because he needs to understand that Ellie is not Sarah. And if he had that mindset at the end of the first game, none of the second game would have happened. They would have gotten the cure and everything else. But
let me ask you this.
But he selfishly saved her life to continue to fill that void. And Ellie is doing the same thing. She is selfishly going after Abby to fill the void of loss from losing Joel because of the simple fact of she never truly got to come to terms and come back right with Joel, and she regrets that.
I think you're conflating different things.
Huh?
I think you're conflating different things.
I'm not conflating different. I think.
I said I think.
Joel, it's all good, and I respect that. But I think both of them, Joel and Ellie, who have been together so long, were both selfish. Joel was selfish in putting Ellie before the needs of the many, which was a cure. And Ellie's doing the same thing now.
Pause real quick. One, selfish isn't always a bad thing. Two, you can be a selfish parent and still be your happy, but still be selfish, right? Yeah. So if like that doesn't exclude the fact that whatever hole she filled, whatever void that she took the place of, it's still a father-daughter relationship. It's still a father-child relationship, right? You can say it's transplanted. You can say that he's transplanted his feelings for his daughter and he can't lose another kid. Whatever. You can say it's selfish. Whatever. That's still his child at the end of the day. That's still a cub he is taken into his care, protection, and nurturing, and wants the best for, despite. So it can be selfish, but it also doesn't negate the parental role.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad or good. I'm simply stating it as fact, because even in moments, there are moments where Ellie told Joel, "Hey, I'm not your kid. If you're going, I'm going." She makes it very clear to him in different aspects. You're not wrong, and don't get me wrong. You're not wrong. I'm simply saying factually, she is following, ironically, in the footsteps of her transplanted father.
I agree with that.
Doing things for her own selfish means, and the one person who has called her out on it, unfortunately.
Wait, I think we're about to get Men in Black. Hold on. I think we're about to get Men in Black. They're putting on sunglasses.
Right.
I don't know about that.
They can flash themselves. All I'm simply saying is this particular section was very Game of Thrones. As soon as Jesse and Ellie came to an understanding, even if you never played the game, you knew that was gonna happen. You knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, I think anybody can get it. I think the question would be if somebody asked Ellie, like, who is Joel to you? Like, if you had to narrow him down to a name besides Joel, she would ultimately come to the fact of being her dad. Like, I think it can go both ways. I think that both you guys, from an inflection standpoint, make the most sense. But when she looks at him, like, if you can, whatever definition of dad is in her mind, that's it. I think that a lot of times she says stuff out of emotion, like, "You're not my dad," or "You can't tell me what to do," but that's her being a kid. Like, she's a teenager. She's a preteen, pre-adult. Like, she wants to look like she's important. She wants to look like she can do just as good as he can. Everyone does. Like, it's kind of the epitome of a older son being like, you don't got to keep babying me, Dad. Like, I'm not a kid anymore.
But you're my kid.
Right. And so I think, but at the end of the day, all those kids, when they really have to define it, regardless, like, yeah, that's my dad. And I think that's the truth. That's Ellie's truth, whether or not she can say it or not. Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing with this episode, man, is they gave Jesse a good send-off, but at the same time, that giant.
No, they didn't.
That's a good send-off.
Listen to me. Hear me out.
Because it was quick.
Hear me out. They gave him time. They gave him more time than they did in the game. They gave him more time to build out as a character. They gave him more time to be able to actually show different corners of himself. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, it doesn't derail what they did. But what I'm saying is, that from a good send-off standpoint, they allowed us to be able to actually breathe Jesse before he took his last breath.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if I had never played the game, I don't really know if I would rage quit the show, but I would definitely I'll watch if like the consensus is like, this is like, masterful or something like that. I guess I'm just speaking for myself, but there's no way I would like tune in however many months from now and
years.
In sort of the
He's so bitter.
in sort of the like it sounds you make it sound like oh yeah, like it's joyful, like I can't wait to be there, I'm gonna be there, when it's like, listen, I'll be there if there's like good word of mouth or something. Like that was a lot.
But this is the thing. I think there's a difference for me. Well, you know what? I can't speak for everybody because everybody deal with trauma differently. You may be still dealing with trauma from the game. I have moments, but I don't have it the same exact way. I know what I went through. I know what it does to me. And I know, what they're trying to interpret from the past trauma that I went through. But I can imagine if somebody was still traumatized from the game and having to relive going through this season alone.
But just like
hard.
I'm just talking like non-gamers.
No, I'm talking about for me. You were talking about you. I'm talking about me.
Sure.
I'm ready for the third season. I'm just not going to get it for a couple years, like Ronan said. But it's because I know narratively where this is going, and I know what the narrative as a whole. So it's not for me. It's like something that I can take it or leave it. Like I got to see this through now. Now, if you talk to a person that never played a game, I think it'd be very interesting to hear their perspective. Like, I wish Jorge was here so he can kind of give his perspective on everything.
You know what? I might need to watch season 3 with Tequila. Like, I might need that for the first few episodes. I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be rough just because. And before I even go further, shout out to Caitlin Dever and the Seattle crew. I'm sending y'all loves and hugs just because season 3 when season 3 comes, I'm gonna be like, fuck y'all. But shout out to them. I wish I could give her a hug and be like, hey, I don't hate you. I have issues with other stuff, but like I'm very interested to see if season 3, if they tell that side, if it's better digestible for me.
Did you notice the mark on Abby's neck?
Yes.
I wish I could talk about it. We got to talk about the bricks. I can't talk about it here.
And also, I'm really glad they still kept the Seraphites' presence even towards this end of the season, because that element is what kept me going in a weird way when we got to the second half of part 2. Like that angle was like, okay, there's, again, without spoilers, there's 2 different factors that'll be coming in soon that I really like get that right, so I can don't have to, I can get to the end of the story sober. But to quote Joel, with what Joel did, I would do it all over again. No doubt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Besides Ronan, is anybody else traumatized from the game, and that trauma bled into this season for you guys?
Here's the thing. I didn't realize I was traumatized until episode 2. I didn't realize I was still traumatized because when we were all done and we got off the actual stream, that's when I broke. I lost it then. I didn't realize I was still traumatized, but having 5 years to really kind of contemplate this, I understood what Neil was trying to do. And having a better understanding of what Neil was trying to do, I appreciated the game more. But now going back through the show, that trauma has reverted me back to watching Sam play this game on Twitch, and also reignited the reasons why after he went through this game, I never started it. I never bothered. It just sits in my digital ether because of how I felt with this game. I've never turned it on. I've never plugged. I've never booted it up. It just sits there because I am reminded now why I am like F. Neil Druckmann in this moment with the game. I understood what he was trying to do, and I give him credit for it, but it doesn't change the way I feel. That joint was jacked the F up. And I will more than likely never start that game ever, because you got my money, F you and what you did. But kudos, because you pushed the boundaries where we never really thought it would go. So I give him credit for that, but still, it was a mental cluster F just watching it. And I will never put my hands to a controller for it.
Yeah.
But Ty, I think I even talked to Joel a little bit about this before, and like, if this ended where I think it did, it makes sense mathematically wise when the story will conclude, because that leaves time for Naughty Dog.
For bottles and bricks.
Yeah.
For bottles and bricks.
I know where you're going with it, Ronan. And I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. Right. All I know is Heretic better be done, or they better be dual hatting in this Mickey flick.
And Jarrell, it's interesting how we had this all laid out. As far as you guys, I mean, you may not have been traumatized by the game. You may have just thought it was like a specific narrative and then seeing how that was going to go. But how was it for you guys going into the game, playing it, getting through it, and then going into this? Like, how was it for you guys transition-wise, emotionally? And without spoiling it. Again, this is not a spoiler.
Into the finale or season 2?
Just season 2 in general. Like, did you go into season 2 with the trauma? Were you traumatized from the game, and did you bring that trauma into the second season? And you may not have, if you weren't traumatized.
I was definitely. I'll probably always be traumatized by the game. It's not something for me to get over, because I had a personal attachment to Joel and Ellie. But that bring my trauma into the show, I don't really think so. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I was pretty open to season 1 and season 2. I mean, it's just about the execution for me. I mean, the game is its own thing. But yeah, I don't know if I brought any trauma in per se. It's just more so like I'm just hoping that it honors the game experience more so.
And I think I'll clarify what I mean by bringing trauma into it. So say, there's like, we'll use the Joel incident, right? Like the actual sequence where you dreading going into having to relive seeing that scene again played out in real life. That would be what I was using as an example. Like some people, that was so hard for them to have to go and relive it and see it again, even if it was in an adaptation format, was hard. That's what I mean. And sometimes it could be good moments. Some people, like going and seeing the astronaut scene was traumatic for them because it was such a happy moment, but they know where it leads. It leads to sadness for some people. So
and now I'll let you go.
I mean, I'm fine with Joel's fate. I think Joel did some pretty rotten stuff at the beginning before the beginning of in the time frame between when his biological daughter passed and by the time he catches up with Ellie. I like Joel. I know when we play a character, we feel a part of that character's story, and it's but great stories end, and I think that's something we don't do a lot in modern media because we want to keep franchises going. His story concluded. I mean, I think I always thought it was just I always thought the problem with 2 was that the execution of the story to me, or how they laid it out. I think it was ambitious. I just think it didn't land very well. I think they're gonna have similar issues going into the season 3 because you have essentially like gotten rid of a lot of likable characters, and so you have to the actors that are coming the next season from the other perspective. You're going to have to get us to care about them. You're going to have to get us to like them as characters and be invested in them. And I think that's going to be the challenge. I think that's going to be the challenge. Do I want to? Because I feel bad. I feel worse about Jesse's death than I do about Joel's, because Jesse's death was a waste of potential. You know what I mean? It's a waste of what could have been with this character. Joel, you want that guy to find peace. I don't think Joel's an evil man or anything like that, but you wanted him to find peace, and he just didn't. He got a good 5 years. We should all be so lucky. Like, we should all be so lucky with that track record. And even then, he told the person he cares about the most the worst thing he's ever done. And that person said, I want to forgive you. Again, if we're on our deathbeds and we tell the person that we love the most the worst thing we ever done or the worst time in our lives, and they still look at us with love, we'll be lucky people. But Jesse, that's all the potential of stories, of fatherhood, and he's a good guy. That hurts. Who are we following in the next? 'Cause I don't like Abby. Ellie's getting on my nerves. like she's done a lot of stuff because she's just bullheaded. What's the smart boy's name on the other side? You thought you were gonna quick draw. I don't know what there's a lot of plans you could have did, but you thought you were gonna pull a gun on somebody that had a gun trained on you, and it was a killer.
Bro, them killing Jesse like that, I'm thinking about this from like a non-gaming perspective, because that's really what's gonna save the show. But man, oh man, it's bad enough like this traumatizing thing happens, or like this is dark thing happens, but the way that they just all like off of Jesse, it's just so like.
Man, they just put him down, bro. Like he came through the door. That's all he did.
It's almost as if the show is like hyper confident about the audience's like investment is, and it's like, is that really how y'all want to play this hand? Because like I'm pretty sure season 2 is short because of budgetary reasons, not just because like you literally just saw 7 episodes was all we needed. That's a really it's storming here. That's a really bold, overly bold move, if you ask me.
I mean, it's funny, and that's why I asked you guys that question, because y'all are describing exactly what we had to go through in the game. Like, because honestly, when we had to play, when it shifted to that character. I don't know anybody that was comfortable doing that. I don't know anybody who was just comfortable doing that, to be honest. And when Jesse went down in the game, I couldn't believe that. And I think that was the time that I felt like we were in a Game of Thrones situation, because I was like, if Jesse just got popped, what's about to go down? That's what I'm talking about. That scene, I really truly felt like anything could happen at that moment.
But you know what takes away from that? What takes away from that is that we keep seeing Ellie just make these really reckless decisions and nothing happens. Right. So I love one of the things that Game of Thrones, I think, brought to the general audiences was the idea is no one's safe. Like, there is no main character that is safe. Anything bad can happen to anybody. And when they lost that, they lost the audience. In this one, I think Jesse's death would be because in real life, sometimes some people randomly catch, the nice people sometimes randomly catch a bullet. That happens. But when I just see Ellie get on the Resident Evil 4 boat, survive a wave, go in store, get hugged, sound stop them from just gutting her. Oh, just leave her. It'll be all right. Recklessly try to take on a 2v6 to save somebody they don't know. Like, all this stuff, it kind of takes away from the randomness of Jesse's thing. Just to me.
And you went full Star Wars with Ellie. Like, the plot armor is strong with this one.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like Ellie, are you fucking stupid? Is there something fucking wrong with you? Yes. Okay, what the fuck is this bullshit? They really want me to see the thing. I think I'm trying to put this as best I can, but like, because you guys keep doubling down on like both experiences are meant to not be like, they're both meant to be unpleasant. Fair. But there wasn't like all this lead time for me to like just rage quit the source material though. Like even though I was really, really, really upset in the game. It's right there, fam. It's right there.
No. I'm gonna
it's
call
right
you.
there.
I'm gonna pull that. I don't got an Uno card anywhere.
I literally don't have access to any more episodes until how many fucking months or years from now?
When you were watching the game, you said, Sam, I'm not watching any more of this evil.
Right, I wanted to quit. Almost did.
You said I'm quitting tonight, and
Sure.
I said, Jarrell, no, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going, right?
Sure. But Sam, this is over a span of weeks. So we're saying two completely different things.
No,
we're talking about mere weeks versus years, bro.
There are some people that never played that game again.
That's who I'm talking about. No, these are the only people who matter.
There are people that done with the game. They were like, I'm not doing it.
I'm with you.
It was almost a statistic disaster itself.
I'm with you. But pretend like you have not played the game. You've seen 28 Days Later, right? Like you've been through The Walking Dead, you've been through Game of Thrones. Fantastic, okay? Expecting these people to just come back after like 3 years of this depressing, manic bullshit. It's just like I straight up, I don't. If you were to tell me that the viewership is going to be the same way for season 3 and 4. And like the audience and critic scores, these are all just going to be like relatively positive. I can't really speak on season 2, actually. I just thought about that. But at least for season 1, audience scores and critic scores were like, it's a hit. Right? It's a hit show. I can't really speak outside of viewership for season 2. I'm going to check back on that. But I don't presently see it. Maybe I need to sleep on it. Maybe I'm being harsh. Who knows? But like as of right now,
you're thinking that people aren't going to come back to watch the 3rd season. Is that what you're saying?
I could definitely see. I can confidently say right now that I can definitely see like a possibility of like a substantial like a backlash or like a viewership fall off or like audience score dip, and I could be totally wrong. I mean, maybe people come back even stronger and they love season 3 even harder than the last 2 seasons. Who knows? Do I presently see that right now? I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's always an issue when you try to split a story up like this. And I think what saves this season is I think it opened really strong with the attack on Jackson. I think that was masterfully done. I think the last episode, I think that's something people are going to talk about. I think that this just is a weak ending. I think it's just a weak ending to a season, you know.
Right. Yeah. And then killing Jesse, that's like, again, just try to remove the game away for a second. Just try to imagine that you're just watching the show.
Material, Jarrell. You can't talk about something that's. It's like you're saying, if imagine this was a book. Imagine if it was a book, and you know a character's supposed to die. You can't say the character just, oh man, they shouldn't kill this character, and it's in the book that the character dies. You can't do that.
That happens all the time, though. In the Wheel of Time, they killed the character that lived, like a prominent character that lived.
And I know exactly who you're talking about because I remember that.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that there's similarities.
But maybe move Jesse's death to like the end of season 3 or the mid of season 3.
Right. You're testing these niggas' patience, fam. Like what?
Like so, trying to look at it from Jarrell's perspective, totally trying to block off the thing of the game, right? This was very, very much this gave you a little this whole season gave you like a little bit of Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers with the battle at Helm's Deep. They gave you that at the first episode. Right? I don't know. Hey Google, stop. So they and then they kind of like died you back down, you know, Then in the penultimate, they give you all the hype, and now they just kind of gave you a big middle finger with a drop off. Like I said before, if I honestly have the same feeling, if I had never watched or never played the game or watched the game, as I've never played, I've watched Sam play. I would have preferred, if I had to have a choice, I would have preferred the blackout with the gunshot, because then you're like, well, did she actually do it? Did she kill her? Like there's a little thing, but then to turn it and go to basically a flashback, you know, it is a kind, it's literally, and this is the struggle piece I have, Jarrell. Even when I try to excuse the game, I feel the same way as I did with the game in that moment. Like, seriously, it like you just want to be like, yo, F this broad, is Ellie dead? Like, or did Ellie just pay for her dumbass choices? Like, that's what I want to know. And they're like, ha ha ha, you gotta wait a certain amount of time to find out on the next episode.
I'm not saying there's again
like,
there are like similarities, no doubt, between the show and the video game. I just think like just maybe you guys are underestimating the TV show audience being like, you know what, I'm good, or at least a lot of them. Not all of them, but like a lot of them.
I can't say that, because when hearing you talk about it like this is kind of the discussion I had with Sam about Attack on Titan. Like Sam just dropped it. Once a particular thing happened, not trying to spoil Attack on Titan here, but Sam was like, you know, Sam did a full Eric Cartman. Screw you guys, I'm going home. And I told Sam, I said, Sam, come on back. Just come on back. Because Sam was the one who got me into it. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to waste my precious time at this point and just say, I'm out. And I got Sam back, and me and Sam continued through all the way to the end. But the thing is I'm not underestimating it all. I agree with you. I think there are going to be some people that's going to be like, screw it. But what I think may happen is, once you give people time to simmer, people are going to have that same feeling like, okay, the simple fact that I endured this BS, right? I now need to know what may happen. Or they may just be like, you know what? Screw it all. I don't care. It was trash anyway. There's always that possibility. But I think for 7 hours, people gave up 7 hours or even 8 hours, if you add everything up, of their time to invest in this show. And that's not even inclusive of the time they spent with the first season. I think there's going to be a good amount of people that for if anything else, because they don't want anybody else talking about it, that question is going to linger back in their head and going to be like, you know what? I may not want to deal with this piece of BS from Neil, but I need to get the end result. You know, I need to get the end result. The only thing is, my opinion is I'm not underestimating. I'm probably overestimating, because I think whoever is in that seat, like those who haven't played the game, when this is all said and done at season 4, then they're going to be like, F Naughty Dog, F Neil, F it all. That's what I think.
I just it cracks me up that Sam was like, but don't you remember, like, he almost quit, and like I had to talk you through some days, and it's like, sure, but again, we're talking about like what, like weeks here, okay? My nigga, you're not talking me through for fucking months, okay? For fuck's sake, there's whole other shows that were way fucking happier that this nigga was trying to like twist my arm to like stick with, and then things did not go according to plan. Never mind this fucking hellish, depressing ass story. Okay,
Jarrell, you need to finish Andor season 2.
That respectfully is not at the same exact quality as the game. So just a big ask.
As a consumer, if you take it out from being a creator, just a regular consumer, is 2027 January. Let's just say January 2027. and the show's about to start. They already show a preview of it during Christmas for some stupid reason, and you're like, I don't know. There's nothing on. There's nothing on HBO. You can watch something on Disney Plus. You can watch something on Prime. You can watch the NBA Finals or whatever you're looking at the time, or whatever. What will happen? It's almost guaranteed. From January till March, you're gonna see commercials. You're gonna see Twitter posts. You're gonna see TikToks. You're going to build curiosity, and you're gonna eventually want to either one, watch it, or talk to somebody about it. Like, hey, is this show any good? Like, I quit this show a long time ago. I don't know, man. It's right now, it's really rough. Like, all right, man, maybe I'll watch it with you. Or realistically, you're not going to be like, forget it. You're going to talk around it, or you will eventually watch it. Statistically, anybody, regular consumer, that's just going to happen because that's just the way the world works from a social media standpoint. Now, if they are just, say they're a grandparent, and they're like, oh my God, they killed Jesse, they killed Joel. They killed a pregnant woman. I can't do this. And, they maybe be like, yeah, nah, I can't do it. I could see maybe that older lady being like, it's okay, sweetheart. You enjoy it. And her grandson is like, but hey, grandma, I think it's actually pretty crazy. You want to keep watching it. I know it's hard, but I want to watch it with you. Realistically, she still will think about it, even if she watches it or not. So I'm just telling you, it's going to exist. It's one thing if it didn't get a third season. It's going to exist. There's going to be talk. It's going to happen that you're going to think about it, talk about it, and question doing it. And to Try's point, I spent 5 years. I did not watch that. I was like, people were playing clips. Every time I was like, I'm not watching. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Ty came on to me, he was like, dude, just watch it. I'll watch it with you. If it's bad, then we'll go through it together. I was like, nah, I don't know. And I think Ant came up like, look, I'll do it too. And then I was like, all right, whatever, bro. Got through that, and I didn't look back. But I just was dead set I wasn't going to do it. And I was like hating on the joint. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. So I'm just telling you, realistically, just word of mouth. People are going to talk about it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all can believe it if not. But as far as rating the episode, I really, it was a lot. It was a whole lot going on in this episode. It was actually crazy. I haven't even really talked around certain things that happened in the episode, but generally speaking, I did enjoy it. That's hard to say. Like, I didn't emotionally enjoy it. I enjoyed the execution of how they handled it. Mm-hmm. And I am dead set on coming back for a third season for sure. I mean,
well said.
That's where I'm at.
Well said. I'll save my grade for bottles and bricks because I can't give a score or a grade without going through the cacophony of BS that went on. But I'm in the vicinity of Sam's opinion as well. But I'm not going to give my grade now. I'll save it for B&B.
Can't believe Ellie done killed a pregnant woman.
I mean,
final thoughts.
I wouldn't give Ellie that smart guy got that pregnant woman killed. I think I don't know what he thought he was doing grabbing that gun. I give it a C+. There's some good acting in it. I think it just I don't. If I'm a regular person, depending on what's competing during the time, 2 years from now, the show comes back. Who am I tuning in to see?
Look at Jarrell.
At most, if I'm really attached to Joel or Pedro, I might just want to see some comeuppance, and we all know how that's the feeling surrounding that. So, I've seen mods for Last of Us that it's just Joel, and I've seen them get a lot of views because people are attached to Joel. Again, I just don't think who are they following that they care about.
I can't be mad at that. That's a good viewpoint.
Well, first off, I definitely cannot rate the episode. I have no idea I don't really know what I think about it in terms of whether I think it's like good, great, or bad, or underwhelming. I'm not really sure. I need to sit on it. There are obviously things I liked, but man, oh man, it's just man, oh man, they're I'm not really sure what to say about it. I mean, well, as far as season 3 goes, like, I mean, I was gonna be there, like, regardless. I'm kind of like contractually obligated to be there. Like, I mean, I've been through like the entirety of the game, so even if, like, hypothetically speaking, I thought this season was like really bad, still be there. I mean, the game means a lot to me, so. Like, I would just be there regardless to the end. Same thing happened with The Walking Dead. And The Walking Dead lost me a long time ago, but I was like, if they ever put up a final season, I'll put her down. Just because I just spent so much time in the universe. But this episode, yeah, I go back and forth with what I feel about it. It just feels like a kind of sort of okay, shortcutted. We're taking seasons, but we're like, it feels like we're rocketing through the second game, in kind of like a dangerous way where it's like, shit, I admire the confidence. Just not sure that I fully agree. I guess we'll find out
in a couple years.
I think I'll give it a B plus. I liked it and whatnot. It is the cliffhanger ending, and now I'm like, oh, everything I really dug at the first of the second game. We got through it, and I'm like, fuck. Now I gotta sit through the rest, and again, nothing against Caitlin and everybody else. I mean, if anything, I think she's helped me process it a little bit better, but it doesn't take away the fact that I want to go 15 rounds with Abby. I shout out to Young Messino as Jesse. I really appreciated the new stuff that I learned about Jesse in this episode. The fact that they did the whole boat thing, that was wild. It's gonna be. I'll say this for everybody looking forward towards both our channels' coverages. It's gonna be a new dynamic with the show going forward because that's what the second game did. With my connection with the franchise and how I am even now. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, I can balance my liquor for season 3, and it's time. So yay, fuck me.
It's gonna be hate watching, y'all. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be here.
I'm doing my best. I don't want to end up going to the club afterwards and be like, I'm depressed. Let's go to the club and like relax a bit. I don't want to do that. Like I don't.
I'll see if I bring you some rum punch, Ronan.
That seems awesome.
Hey,
I'm gonna get you like a couple boxes of honey buns, bro.
I just you know what this finale maybe I shouldn't say this, but you know what this finale kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the finale to was it season 2? Yeah, season 2 of House of the Dragon. That last finale. It's kind of what it feels like. Where it's like, well, obviously I'm gonna be there at the next premiere, my nigga. But at the same time,
yeah.
We're leaving things. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
I agree. I will say this though. I think no matter what, this for me is our new version of Final Fantasy VII. Like, not the remake. I'm talking OG 1997, pixelated, where you got to the end of a section and you had to take the time to swap discs. and you hated that because it's like, come on, hurry up, and waiting for it to spin and waiting for it to load up and everything. So this is my Final Fantasy VII for me, because it's like, hurry up, spin up them episodes, let the laser reader read the disc, and let's go, because I'm just invested at this point. I'm just invested. Yes, it's almost like it's like M. Night Shyamalan taking The Last Airbender and actually not adding his own stuff to it, just taking the source material and not changing names or adjusting anything and making it longer and giving you a cliffhanger. And you're just like, okay, seriously, I know what's going to happen, but I want to see the rest. Yeah. Although, of course, with him, that'll never happen because his stuff is just, trash. But that's kind of how it feels for me right now. I'm waiting for them to take out that first disc and put in the next one, and let's just get going.
Man, well, first of all, Final Fantasy VII makes me incredibly happy, by the way. But man.
Hammer time.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go. I hope y'all enjoyed our review. We will be getting into more details with Bottles and Bricks, where we get to go and talk about the game and more trauma connected to the game. So if you want to see some interesting trauma bonding, go and check out our Bottle Bricks episode for episode 7. We will be back. First on deck. Ant, go. Where can everybody find you?
Right here at JVS, whenever Sam must be on. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you. Wait. Oh, there he goes. Jarrell, where can everybody find your content?
You're muted, Jay.
I thought we were done. I don't do outros. I don't know. It's as it is on the screen. That's like my main hub where you can find out about me. And yeah. LT, where can everybody find you?
As you see it on the Elon Musk verse, and you add a 2180 to it for the Zuckerberg photo spot known as Instagram. So, and I'm doing the final pieces of my YouTube project, so that is also coming very soon. But for now, those 2 locations.
Yes, sir. Last but not least, the leader of Bottles and Bricks, Ronan, where can everybody find you? Behind the guitar, I guess.
You can find me helplessly hoping and playing that song over and over again until season 3 comes back. At Ronan Unchained on YouTube, on all the socials, covering everything from The Last of Us to Invincible to Star Wars, etc., etc. And the more we grow it out, the more my crazy ideas can come to fruition. Like, I want to randomly hit up all these gentlemen and be like, yo, I'm saying to y'all, plane tickets, meet me up in Wyoming. We're going to do a Last of Us, like, in-location podcast episode. And then, so I want to do that one day.
That would actually be dope. Well, Ron, you can go ahead and call us out, man.
To the edge of the universe and back. Endure and survive. Take care, everybody.
Later, everybody. Peace.